Welcome back! Tonight we're unpacking Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Infinity Castle, 2025, directed by Haruo Sotozaki and Hikaru Kondo. The film features the voices of Natsuki Hane as Tanjiro, Akari Kito as Nezuko, Hiro Shimano as Zenitsu, Yoshitsugu Matsuoka as Inosuke, and an ensemble of Hashira and allies. This is the finale that takes everything we know about the series and turns it into a living maze. What they find next will shatter everything. Before we step into the castle, here's what you need to know. Tanjiro Kamado is not a born soldier. He's a young man shaped by kindness, a charcoal seller who grew up with family rituals, mornings of simple food, evenings of shared stories, and the steady rhythm of mountain life. That normal life is destroyed in a single, brutal night. Tanjiro returns to find his family murdered, and his sister Nezuko changed into a demon. Nezuko is unusual. Even as a demon, she protects children, sleeps to regain strength, and occasionally shows human memory. She wears a bamboo muzzle to stop herself from biting, a small, silent symbol of the struggle inside her. Saving Nezuko, restoring her humanity, is Tanjiro's fire. He trains as a demon slayer not for glory, but for that promise. The Demon Slayer Corps is a secret order that hunts demons. At its peak are the Hashira, elite warriors trained in unique breathing styles. These styles are more than choreography. They are physical and spiritual techniques that shape attacks and defenses. Breathing is rhythm, timing, and a way to channel will into action. Demons are ranked. The upper-rank demons are powerful, vicious, and directly tied to Muzan, the original demon. Muzan Kibutsuji is the seed of the curse. He offers power to desperate people, then consumes them, turning tragedy into an army. That makes every fight personal. The Corps isn't just killing monsters. They're trying to end a disease that stole people's lives. Weapons matter. Demon slayers use Nichiren blades that react to their wielders and can sever demon flesh. Marks and scars mean something. Some give power, some mark destiny. The training to become a slayer is brutal. The final selection lets only a few survive. This world is beautiful in daylight and lethal at night. So, when the Infinity Castle appears, a fortress that bends space and time, it's not just a battle zone. It's a test of memory, identity, and will. And that's just the beginning of the nightmare. It opens in absolute quiet, the kind of silence that makes every small noise, a creak, a breath, sound enormous. Then a single footstep. Thud. The camera draws you into a corridor that doesn't obey straight lines. Lanterns flicker, shadows pour like ink, doors tilt where doors shouldn't be. The whole place feels like it's listening. We move with the Corps as threads of light wind through the maze. Close-ups show lips pressed tight, knuckles white, breath fogging in the air. The soundtrack is careful. Long notes, the pluck of a biwa, and then nothing. The castle is alive with intent. Nothing will ever be the same after this. The Slayers split into groups. Footsteps multiply. A window explodes, glass tinkling like wind chimes in a graveyard. A demon erupts from the dark. Fast, unnatural, violent. The fights are quick and brutal. Zenitsu's fear becomes focus. His lightning strikes look almost like survival reflex. Inosuke attacks with wild animal energy, teeth and blade and roar. The Hashira move like storms, controlled and inevitable. Each clash leaves an imprint, a scream, the scent of iron, dust motes floating in light. The camera doesn't shy away from the cost. After a fight, the quiet returns, heavier than before. The truth that follows will change their fate. To understand the castle, you must understand the man at its center, Muzan Kibutsuji. He's not simply a strong demon. He's the origin. His aim is survival without limits. He bends others to his will by preying on weakness and offering power as a poisoned gift. Why does he target people? Because humans are both food and tools. He turns despair into obedience. His methods are both simple and monstrous: charm to lure, disease to spread, violence to enforce. In Infinity Castle, he adds psychological weapons, music that rearranges rooms, tricks of light that make you doubt your senses, repeating corridors that rob you of time. Symbols matter. The castle's mirrors, clock faces that spin wrong, and the recurring biwa notes are rituals of control. They strip characters of rhythm and memory. On a deeper level, Muzan equals corruption, addiction, the hunger for power that eats identity. The next turn will upend everything. Under the action, the film asks real questions. What happens when survival asks for cruelty? How do we honor people who've been turned into monsters? Each demon's backstory is a small tragedy, a name, a hope, a life lost. The Slayers are fighting to give those names back, to stop an endless cycle. Visual motifs underline this: broken mirrors for fractured minds, clock faces for repeated trauma, and a biwa's single note to show patterns that keep replaying. The movie insists the real victory is not just killing a demon, it's restoring stories. What unfolds next will turn the night inside out. In the final act, the castle collapses into chaos. Muzan shows his full form: speed that blurs limbs, regeneration that mocks wounds, an inhuman will to survive. The battle becomes a test of endurance. Tanjiro fights like a man holding on to memory. Every breath technique is driven by family images. Nezuko fights beside him as a protector, clawing back her humanity. Allies fall. The air fills with smoke and the metallic tang of blood. The Hashira unleash everything they have: coordinated, beautiful, devastating strikes. Victory doesn't come clean. It comes raw, through sacrifice, through becoming a chorus of unbroken wills. The next moment will rewrite their story. After the last strike, silence spreads over the ruins. The camera lingers on small things: a sword half buried, a hand that trembles, a face that remembers laughter. Many lives are gone. The world feels smaller and also clearer. Nezuko's fate resolves the central promise, but without cost. Survivors carry scars that don't fade. The victory means safety for many, but the film refuses to turn pain into easy healing. The survivors learn that freedom requires remembering what was lost. What comes next will leave no one unchanged. Muzan is a monster and also a mirror. He represents corruption, the seductive ease of power, and the way trauma replicates itself. The Infinity Castle is a mental and physical prison that rearranges reality to keep people small. The Slayer's real fight is about dignity, bringing names back to the fallen and rebuilding a world that values life over endless hunger. The movie's heartbeat is simple: courage costs, but it matters. People who refuse to trade their humanity for victory are the ones who remake the world. That's the message that lingers after the credits. And then the real test begins. If this was your first trip inside the Infinity Castle, welcome. Or if you came back for another look, thank you. Tell me, which moment hit you the hardest? Drop it in the comments, like if this breakdown pulled you in, and subscribe for more late-night film dives. Keep your lights low and your curiosity loud. The next story pulls the rug out from under them.